Hi, welcome to I'm Powered by Love TV. My name is Josh here, back with our SOULMATE SOULSCOPE readings here. These are going to be from my Taurus Decan 3 friends whose birthdays are from May 11th through May 20th. And these are going to be channeled Akashic Record readings here for the energies from the 14th through the 31st. And the Akashic Record readings are your soul books here, and we tie them with your horoscope to kind of get you a nice little soulscope reading. And then, once you stay tuned through the whole thing, because we are going to be doing 2021 predictions. Alright, so stay tuned and we'll go ahead and get down the reading. Alright, welcome in my Taurus Decan 3 friends. So we're going to go ahead and get down these energies from the 14th through the 31st. They're already telling me here there's going to be some big changes in the way we see ourselves. We already are experiencing a lot of these kind of mental awareness changes. And a lot of these have to do with the love that we hold for ourselves. They saying this stems way back, and they want you to hold the memory of being a child and kind of running and having that freedom, that kind of pure bliss state that we were in, kind of enjoying, learning, bringing new things into our life and understanding. Because we lost that on the way and slowly began to follow in others' footsteps and kind of lost ourselves. And so this has hindered us from obtaining open relationships, from having deeper connections, not only with ourselves but with others at this time. And so we're talking a lot about love here, because that not only are you looking for it for yourself as in a relationship, but you're also looking for it for yourself, because you've felt at a disconnect through this whole year, and the disconnect stems from that losing who we are and kind of trying to do this for this person because they like it, or do this for another person because that's what this person said, and this person gave me this, so I'm gonna run with this, and we haven't been able to find some of our true passions and true desires. And these 2 weeks are wanting you to go back, kind of take a backtracking trip through the self. So we're gonna go ahead and get out a few of these love here for you. We're actually they want me to pull all of them. We're gonna pull here from a knowledge deck here to think about the next steps that we're gonna have to take, and these will just kind of correlate right along with the ones that I just pulled. Because this disconnect has been felt throughout the entire year. You guys have, it has nothing to do with a disconnect from our work related, our ability to have stability in finances, growth in an outer world, but it has hindered us from a growth from our inner selves. And you're noticing a lack. And so, boom, right off the bat here, take the lead. And this is taking the lead on the self. This is taking the kind of a leap of faith into diving into these unknowns, these things that are that are beginning to come out. You are having these feelings and these emotions of, man, I would really love to do this. I'd really love to drive into this passion, or find this, or see this, but you are not sure how others are going to take it, and so you're cautious, and so you might already started doing it kind of in secret. and not necessarily telling anybody, as well as for relationships, you guys haven't taken the lead. You have sat back and said, it'll come when it comes, it'll come, when I get this done, or when I get this done, or when I get this done. And so you're waiting to kind of finish and become whole in other areas of your life before you can bring in the love. And bringing in the love actually will elevate the things that you want to get done. So taking the lead on that and trusting that it's going to be okay, and that you're going to come out okay, and that all these areas of your life are going to become a synergistic flow. And I love that in this card here, she's kind of leading with her heart, and she's allowing these unknowns and embracing them as a known. So she's, I guess the way I said it, the fear of what is to come when you take the leap of opening your heart to others, to bring in a connection, is the same that you need to do with the self, because the inner child is screaming at us like, yo, why did you lose me? Where did you decide to just cut me out altogether? I could be here bringing in this pure bliss, this pure love, this pure happiness and compassion and all these things that we had as a child, and we're feeling it and we're hearing it. And so the reach outing, I'm gonna reach out. I don't know why it says, I get this card said reach out, but I hear just more reaching. Reaching for a higher connection, a deeper connection, is what at this time you are feeling. And they want you to run with it with this 2 weeks. Because when you run with it and you give yourself to all here, this crown chakra here talks about your higher self speaking to you and reconnecting. This is where your child self still sits. This is where that pure love sits. This is where all these things are coming in as intuitive messages. And so they're bringing this to your awareness, and you've been feeling this way, and they don't want you to push it aside anymore. You push it aside. If you go back here to earlier when we did our December 1st to the 15th, you'll see with the 2020 review about how we've kind of shed away these things and justified why we did these things. But at this time, your child self is asking for you back. Your pure love self is asking for you back. And this is the reason why you haven't been able to establish a deeper connection with anyone, because you don't have a deeper connection with yourself, and they feel that. That resonates, that energy resonates with the counterpart. And they're like, well, does he even know who he is? Or does she even know who she is? And so when you start to take this journey and hold a dedicated effort, I love that these cards kind of all come out and play beautifully across the line. The dedicated effort that it takes to, sorry, this card's kind of tough to apply here. The dedicated effort that it takes to take the lead on the self and actually look in the mirror and say, where did I lose myself? Where did I begin to shift from a pure love state into a craving outer world things to make myself feel fulfilled? I.e. the job, the status, the side of I've done it, I'm making this person proud, making this person proud, making this person proud. What makes you proud is the real question. And you need to sit with that at this time and begin to bring in this love, so that way you can allow this relationship to enter. This will also strengthen, for those who are in relationships, this will also strengthen the connection you have with the counterpart, because they will see that in you. They will see that glow, that passion, that drive, and you will in turn inspire them to kind of want to deepen this connection with you. And we're going to talk about kind of the next steps here, because right here, communication is key. And this is communication with the higher self and listening and being able to hear those things that we need to shed. I'm hearing just all sorts of things across the board that have caused these. They're saying, an insecurity with ourself based on others' vision of who we are, trying to fulfill their vision instead of trying to fulfill the vision that we see for ourselves and that we saw for ourselves for so long. So this is kind of a deep emotional transition for you, but the energies that we have with this solar eclipse launching forward, as well as with Saturn and Jupiter in conjunction, it's just going to help you break open and shoot right through these barriers to get exactly where you want to go. And they want you to know that you and your loved ones are safe. So these are the next steps here, because this is one thing that you are worried about, is when I start to take the work, will I disconnect from those relationships that I currently have? You say no. No, you will not. Everyone in your life is going to be safe at this time and is going to be a support group for you, which is also where this reach out comes in, to allow you to make these changes. And as you communicate with them what you're kind of going through, what you're feeling, and how you want to embrace these deeper connections and emotions with them, it'll open them up as well as begin to open you up and help you shed these barriers. And that's why it says it's the time to give rather than take. You've taken so much energy from others, not in a sense of draining or anything like that, but just kind of to fulfill yourself in, wow, this person looks at me because I did this, or this person is proud of me because I did this. And so you're feeding off of those. That's the energy that you've been feeding off of. And at this time, it's not going to support you any further. Now, and they want me to show you a few guides that are going to be with you at this time in this next 2 weeks to bring these out, because it's going to be a tough transition. But they say once you start and focus this intention on taking the lead and having this dedicated effort to hear and listen, you will be able to transform these kind of just showing pictures of mud and stuck energies that are latching at our feet as we try to take a few steps forward. It kind of sinks us back in each time, and we put more pressure on ourselves, and then it digs us in deeper, and we just kind of like, dang it. And so again, thus reaching out for help from your higher self, child self, as well as from others around you. Boom, Horus, Cosmic Gateway. This is the expansion. This is you opening up and allowing the unknown to be known to you at this time. So it says your thoughts are magnetic and powerful. Miraculous changes are occurring, and they are. Once we decide to take the leap or take the lead on these changes. So I do want you guys to stay tuned here as we go ahead and get into our 2021 predictions on the energies, and then we'll get into the deeper reading here. So stay tuned. We'll get those to you in just a moment. Alright, my Taurus Decan 3 friends, welcome. So we're going to start our 2021 predictions. What we're going to start off here with is your energies for the year. So we want to be able to bring these to you guys here, so that way you have a better understanding of the lesson that we're going to be going through in the healing path and those types of things. So we'll go ahead and start with our soul lesson. This is what we're going to learn through at this time. I like how I said learn through. That's exactly what you're doing, basically. So we'll go ahead and get this pulled out here for you guys. Because we want to know, what it is that I have to move through, be ready to move through So when the time comes, you'll be like, all right, this is where it's gonna push me forward. I love this for you. Acceptance. Kind of just what we were talking about earlier. Accepting the self, standing in ourself at this time. Accepting who we are instead of who everyone else sees us as. When we do that, it opens up so many doors. Being able to hear, being able to listen, being able to. When I say hear and listen, I want to clarify. When I say hear and listen, it means the messages and those things that are coming down as far as, hey, maybe you should heal this, or remember this happened. This is something that could be blocking you at this time. This is something that could be hindering you. Here's this image. So it comes in dreams. It comes in just kind of messages throughout the day. It comes through different numerologies and things like that. As we go about our lives and about our day, which is why sometimes we see events like reoccurring, and you're like, well, I feel like I've seen this kind of image before, and so that is where we need to turn to. So this acceptance of self, of who we are and who we want to be, not only will it attract counterpart, but it will also allow you to manifest a lot cleaner and a lot easier from a space of truth instead of a space of, well, how is this going to look in the eyes of everybody else? Now these cards here we're going to talk about is our kind of like our ability, our special ability, that maybe this is that we have learned through this year. So this could be the ability that we learned this year through going through the changes and kind of maneuvering through ourselves. We're saying we've started on a big kind of clarity here in the beginning about awareness and ourselves. It did take us a little bit to get there, and they were kind of knocking at your door quite a lot this year. And so the surrendering and taking that lead is going to be what's needed here. And so we're going to talk about our ability, what's going to launch us in 2021 to help us gain the acceptance of self. And I love that. Great teacher. I want to read this to you because it says right at the bottom here, learning from spiritual experiences. And this is just what we got finished talking about is earlier was the connecting to the child self, your higher self, that pure love state of ourselves will help us obviously attune to the acceptance. So this inner wisdoms that we hold in ourselves, they want you to stop doubting, stop putting it off, stop pushing it aside, because they're trying to speak with you and bring these to your light so that way you can grow and share it with others, because you are that great teacher. And I just love this card for you guys. We'll get a deeper look at it. I want to get it up nice and close for you guys here so you can see the sacred geometries, the dove, the looking up, just the all-around glow that you have inside of you, but you feel like people aren't ready for that. They are, and you are ready for it as well, which is why it's sitting in there, a little dormant, but it's there and it's coming out and you can feel it. And these last cards here is going to be our healing path for 2021. What is it? And there it is, just as I said it. We have a saying here, whatever pops out here, show out here on Power by Love. So let me get this for you guys. Grounding. Love that. It's also in the crown chakra here. And the reason they say grounding is because when we make this journey upwards and inwards, we're going to want to root it down so that it's stationary. This goes back to dealing with the acceptance. Grounding it down and knowing it and standing it in our belief and our truth is, again, what you learn from spiritual experiences. It's all tied into kind of our higher selves and our crown chakra. You guys are going to be going through an awakening in 2021. It's going to shock you a bit. And that's why they told you they want you to know at this time, in those 2 weeks, your loved ones are safe to start making the transition and start getting this and gaining this intention, so that way these things can start opening up for you in all areas of your life. I know love is a big factor in our eyes, and having this abundance is a big factor in our eyes. And not only abundance in money and having this growth, but also abundance in all areas. and you want that to flourish. You see it and you feel it, and you feel like you have it, and you feel like you don't. You have it in the eyes of others, but you don't in the eyes of yourself. And so coming to this acceptance of the self and learning and growing and hearing what it is that actually fuels us, and being able to speak that to ourselves and speak that to others, not only will you see that you'll be spreading wisdoms to other people that you kind of already do, but you'll be able to do it without, having to kind of be like hush hush, like, I know this, but I'm not necessarily sure about it, or kind of, I know this, but I can tell you something about this, or I've learned something about this, and you're just timid about it. And so they want you to stand in it and accept that this is who you are. So this is going to be our journey, our energies through 2021 of this lesson that we need to begin to learn and move through and hold that space as being a great teacher. So I see some beautiful things moving through 2021, and we're going to go ahead and get right on into our 2021 deeper predictions. So stay tuned, follow through the whole thing. Right, welcome my Taurus Decan 3 friends. So we're going to continue on our 2021 prediction here. We're going to get deeper into kind of the question, because I know we've been talking about a lot about the self-love and moving into the self at this time, and a lot of your questions deal with, well, am I going to find love? Is this it? How do I love someone the proper way? Because of the ways we've seen. So our question not only has been based on love and having the full abundance, and looking for the balance. And the reason that they talk about the self a lot, and they wanted me to explain this, is because that's where it begins. You got to be the changes you want to see in the outer world. So when you begin to change internally, you'll start to see all these things just kind of slowly match the vibration that we have for ourselves. So that's why they wanted me to kind of segue into that there for you, because I know our questions haven't been answered, but we're going to answer them here in our 2021 here, and we're going to dive right into these cards. Those three are for you, and we're going to get a few more little clarity here, because we are asking about abundance, and you're asking about it in all areas. Now you're stable in some areas, but you want more, but you're at a standstill. So in 2021, you're hoping that, all right, let's blow this up. Let's get this out of the water. Let's get exactly what we're looking for here. Let's get this moving. So you said two of those. So we'll start with these here. We'll see what we got going on. All right. In order here for you guys, because right now they're explaining to me here this decrease. This is going to be a decrease. This is a warning, actually. This is a decrease in all areas if we do not begin to start making changes. You're going to see some revamped things that are going to be delays, setbacks, and these energies are going to move from June, here in June, July. But this is going to start at the beginning of the year, so you'll see major, it'll really start to hit you, and you'll feel like, well, I just kind of, everything sort of started spiraling. And you'll look back at the beginning of 2021 like, yo, what happened? And this is a decrease in a lot of these areas because we didn't decide to do the work. We just kind of shoot it off like we usually do. Ignored it and just kept pushing forward like, nah, I got this. I can do this. There's no worries. And so they're saying if we continue in this path, it's going to shake us in all areas of our life. Love life, arguments, disgruntlements, breakups, hearing threats to loss of job, having to seek new job. All these kinds of things are going to kind of shake our core, family engagements and things like that. So they want you to begin to make these changes, and they want to do it. They want you to do it here with a solid intention of healing the self and putting the self first, bringing that love back into us. So that way we can take these head on. And they're saying hidden motivations. I'm trying to get clarity on this card here because they're saying it's something has to do with the ability of you hearing and moving things forward, not to be taken in a selfish way, because they say you feel as though you're gonna get into it and finally figure things out. You're gonna use it as a manipulation tool, and they say that's not gonna fly at all. No hidden motives, nothing along these lines. See this in between here in this card here, you see the green pastures, and these are the things that we feel and these things that we see, and you're trying to be moving in a direction that is going to end up causing this decrease. So the intention has to be pure, and it has to be from a state of love and growth, of acceptance of the self, and of wanting to move forward, not only yourself, but those around you. And when we take a selfish act and move that forward, all we're going to be doing is hurting what we actually see for ourselves. And so at this time, when we begin this healing, the family, friends, and guides here are going to be with you to support. And they said that earlier here. They said that they're going to be with you in these changes. And so for you not to feel like, I can't, or how are they going to look at me? Because these are some things that are on our mind at this time. They want you to embrace the vulnerability that you're going to be needing to have. That's why they brought up the communication, because that's going to be key. Now, when we begin to make those changes here, as long as we have this heartfelt intention and move forward, we'll start to see exactly what we want to achieve. Now, it's going to take some time. I mean, it's going to take some time, because the reason they had you look back so far is because you need to see exactly where the split started. You're getting a lot of kind of coaching here in this, so I hope you heed this message, because this happy success is wanted in all areas. And they say you can obtain this if you hold the true love of how she's looking in the mirror at herself, kind of a loving look, embracing herself. And so when we do this and we see ourselves, and again, going back to this, the acceptance, this energy, this lesson that we're going to need to learn at this time, is exactly how we can emanate and push our agenda forward of this strengthening, strong partnership, strong foundation to build upon, not only our in those relationships, but with our family, with our friends, with our career, with our money, and all these things will begin to grow and move forward. We're going to pull out this clarity here, because we're saying with these options, financial and material changes, this is talking about this decrease. This is talking about these hidden motivations. You have to find out exactly where your intention lies because we have some malice intentions at hand. And these may be subconscious. I'm seeing envy. I'm seeing, just wanting more than the other person, wanting more than my neighbor, wanting more than this and this and this, and just wanting to shine. Exactly goes back to they're bringing back to me here exactly what we had talked about with you pulling the energies from others to make yourself feel better. So these changes and material changes, you have a direction, and when you have this focused intention, you'll be able to see the growth in all those areas in the finance and material. But again, make sure you have that clear intention. But going back here, you can triumph, and they want to bring this out because they wanted you to show you that you have hope ahead. And it's going to be a rough journey because a lot of these changes in the love and the material and the things that we aspire to have, it's going to take here in at least until September, October. But again, this does rely on you. So this triumph and this success and having this love in all areas, especially in the relationship sector, which is one of our big questions here. And we're going to dive in and just kind of get a more clear answer on that for you guys here for 2021 with these little guys right here. This is going to be kind of a definitive answer. That way you guys can get that here. Based on what I'm hearing and what we've already talked about, it's going to rely on a lot of this openness and acceptance of here we are, and that's the card, exactly as I was talking about it. Improving health. This has nothing to do with your physical health, nothing to do with sickness or anything. This has to do with yourself, the love for yourself. Health is wealth, and when we have a clear, healthy mental awareness of who we are and acceptance of who we are and where we want to go and our intentions, then the love and the success and the triumph is going to come. So I do want to thank my Taurus Decan 3 friends for tuning in here. Now, if this does resonate with you here with love, and it does resonate with you here with money, go ahead and pop that emoji down in our comments here so we can get some good feedback here from you guys, because we'd love to hear from you guys and want to hear more. And also, for those, I want to let you know here, for those who are seeking those relationships or are in relationships, don't forget to check out your partner's SOULSCOPE and SOULMATE reading so you can get those energies and see exactly what's going on with them. And go ahead and drop your zodiac sign down there so that way we see who's messing with who, and we can get some compatibility things. We're gonna try out some new things for you guys here coming in 2021, getting deeper on that love. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and share our channel. And I can't wait to see you guys here in 2021 and see those changes that we make. So thank you again. I'm Josh, sending love and light, signing out.